accused of mass homicide of 1 million Americans each year. It breaks down all the numbers. Incredible. We're going to be going over that. Drinking high fructose corn syrup really does make you stupid. Another big study out we're going to be going over. That's Yahoo, Science Daily, and Natural News reporting that. So that's just some of this. We're under a chemical biological holocaust. Now, Dr. Joel Wallach joins us today via video Skype. If you're watching on Prisonplanet.tv on the radio, hearing the superior audio quality of Skype. It's revolutionizing radio that's getting so good. The audio quality of the guests now, it's like they're in studio. Dr. Joel Wallach has published numerous books, bestsellers on dietary deficiencies and their result and effects, and the fact that it causes a lot of the disease out there. He conducts 300 lectures annually. And, of course, he's the host of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. He has worked for 30 years in veterinary pathologist at several institutions, universities. And it just goes on from there. And he's got other degrees as well. He taught nutrition at the National College of Naturopathic Medicine in Oregon, became a primary care physician with naturopathic degree. And it just goes on from that point. And Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Doctors have one of the lowest life expectancies out there. I think only worse is gays and gangbangers. That's just a fact. But Dead Doctors Don't Lie. He joins us now. So you heard me give that preface, Doc, of what's happening there. I see the system, while they kill us by design, make us sick, and then sell us treatments that don't actually cure us. They treat the cause of what they've already done. They always look for the cure and not the cause of breast cancer, being up 2,000 to 3,000 percentage points, and every other neurological disorder, diabetes, type 2, you name it, neurological disorders in young people skyrocketing. Now they're scapegoating salt and fat, period. What's happening here with this new nanny state saying we're going to force prescription drugs on you and we're going to tell you what you can eat? Dr. Wallach.
Yes, well, thank you so much, Alex. First of all, I want to applaud you for being so up on this information and getting it out to the general public. We are in a war. There's no doubt about it. And you are the point of the spear. You are the Marines for protecting Americans, and I love you for it. And just to kind of reiterate some of the things you've said, they're definitely trying to get statin drugs into kids. This came out just 2 years ago. The American Academy of Pediatrics said this is the strongest pronouncement they've ever made, was to get kids under 8 years old on statin drugs to prevent heart disease. Well, heart disease is not caused by elevated blood cholesterol or triglycerides. And I said that in 1971. It's actually published in an international paper published out of Denmark, in Acta Pathologica, in both Danish and English. And I said at that time, after 20,000 autopsies, elevated blood cholesterol and triglycerides have nothing to do with stroke, heart disease, clogged arteries. It's actually the inflammation from eating fried foods, processed meats, and using oils as salad dressings and so forth. And again, you point out very well, even yet today, Alex, the top 20 longevity cultures on Earth still smoke. They do things that would be considered to be bad, but they are able to get through that, and they're the longest-lived cultures on Earth. Number one, they're all illiterate. They have no doctors, no clinics, no hospitals, yet they have 40 times 100-year-olds we do. That's because they do the basic things our ancestors did. Your grandparents and my grandparents used to put wood ashes from the home fires, either the fireplace or the wood stove, into the garden. The beans and tomatoes and sweet potatoes and squash would suck up these minerals. You would eat them, and you'd nourish your body in that fashion. Well, when we went to electricity and propane and natural gas, there's no wood ashes left over to put in our food or in our gardens. And it's this lack of supplementation that we used to do for thousands of years that is causing us the problems. Now, we've done it for dogs. We've tripled the lifespan of dogs in the last 60 years, from 8 years old 6 years ago to 25 today. We've eliminated 900 different diseases. And if you're a homeless person eating dog food, you're going to outlive doctors and billionaires. It's just crazy. But that's the truth, because we put all the known nutrients in dog food. And we've come up with a system with Youngevity and the 90 for Life program where we duplicate all the knowledge that was learned for dogs and cats and chickens and fish and cattle and sheep and pigs and horses, and we put it into this program, 90 for Life, and it's been working.
Because agriculture demands results, and so that lobby hasn't let the big medical lobby come in and ruin it because people want results there. And all the information is at InfoWarsTeam.com. Since we're getting into that now, people want to get the Tangy Tangerine pollen burst and get it discounted. You can sign up and get discounts there or get free shipping at InfoWarsTeam.com. But I want to understand, why are they doing this? I mean, sure, there's eugenics and part of the overall plan, but I even see, like you said, the doctors are following their own advice and dying at very young ages.
Absolutely. The average lifespan of a medical doctor, according to their own surveys, as of 1999 is 56. Billionaires who follow the doctor's instructions, who should have the highest rate of 100-year-olds and be the healthiest, as of March of 2011 is 66. And then, of course, you have somebody like Steve Jobs, who died at 56 following the doctor's instructions. He should have gone to the Nicoyan Peninsula in Costa Rica, where the oldest people on Earth live, and do what Grandma said to do. He'd still be alive today, but he chose to go with the doctors, and they killed him. Well, the problem here is the medical system has learned how to use the insurance programs as an ATM machine, whereas in the agricultural industry, Alex, as you pointed out, you're very quick. You figured this out right away, in that in the agricultural industry, we don't have health insurance, and so the veterinarians in the agricultural industry just had to solve the problems. Because if you have a pig that needs, if they got bone-to-bone arthritis, and a doctor would say, oh, you need a double knee transplant, he's bacon tomorrow. In humans, we have insurance, and so doctors have learned how to milk that insurance. There was actually a Senate committee came out a couple of years ago and said that the medical system is gaming Medicare and Medicaid.
Stay there, absolutely. And then the doctors that aren't doing it, they're getting the short end of the stick. We'll be back with Dr. Wallach. For a long time, you've heard me talk about building your own food supply. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I get reminded listening to commercials all the time, and there's a lot of other great products out there. Of all the people that have come to me over the years and offered, for me to endorse their product, and I've seen the proof with longevity, and that's why I endorse it, and that's why we have InfoWarsTeam.com with the products discounted. You can go there and buy the products, or you can sign up and be a distributor, and we have a whole phone team you can call, and they can train you on how to be a distributor as well. But I didn't get Dr. Wallach on predominantly about that today. Coming up in the next segment, I'm going to open the phones up for your questions for Dr. Wallach. This stuff is real. I mean, you've seen Aaron Dykes lose 92 pounds now, and now he's trying to, stop and actually just build some muscle, and that's actually working. But 90-plus pounds. I've lost about 40, and because I work out not as much as I was even before, I'm working out less and just staying at the same spot now because I'm so busy. I didn't get home last night till midnight. I worked late. But the point is that look at Dr. Wallach if you're watching on Prisonplanet.tv. He's about to turn 73, and I've seen videos of him on stage just in the last month where it looks like he's about 60. Just amazing, amazing to see what this is doing. So I briefly wanted you, Doc, to get into those cultures, because I know that there are a lot of ancient cultures that live even longer. If they live past the natal point, they manipulate numbers, because in a lot of primitive cultures, yes, 30, 40% of babies by the age of 2 or 3 do tend to die because of complications. But if you get past that point, I've really looked at the numbers on population in even third world areas, and there's people all over the place living to 80, 90, 100. My great-grandmother lived to be 103. I had a bunch of ancestors, if we go back in the records, who were routinely living to 100, men. And this was on the frontier. So if you made it past 3 years old on what the frontier people were eating, how were they living so long? Again, this is one of their big secrets that you've really exposed. What are the ancient cultures, but also what are the French doing? Smoking 2 packs of cigarettes, drinking like fish, living a lot longer than we do. What are they doing?
Well, again, you've hit the nail on the head, Alex. The top 20 longevity cultures, my wife and I put it in our newest book called Immortality, and they can get it through InfoWarsTeam.com, InfoWarsTeam.com. And we looked at the top 20 longevity cultures to try and find their common threads, and we found 25 common threads amongst them, and you're exactly right. They do drink alcohol, they do smoke, and they have 40 times the 100-year-olds we do. They don't have doctors, they don't have insurance, they don't have hospitals. They have 40 times the 100-year-olds we do, Alex. They have 100-year-old for 250 of their population. 100 per 10,000. They have 40 times 100. They live to be 90 on the average in a healthful way. We live to be 75 in a sickly way. It's because of dumb luck, by actual analyses of the soil by the agricultural departments in their countries. They live in a place that have these 90 essential nutrients in their food. There's 60 minerals in the soil. Their plants take it up. The wood they burn has these 60 minerals in it. They put these wood ashes, the minerals, into their gardens. The plants suck it up, and they recycle these 60 minerals over and over and over. We get NPK fertilizer, so we get 2 minerals. The plants are happy, but we need 60. So if you're eating a pretty good slice of multi-grain bread baked with love in the church by the pastor's wife on Sunday, you're 58 minerals short. And this is our problem. And doctors, of course, have told everybody, oh, don't worry about supplementation, just eat well, and you get everything you need. Or eat variety. Put 4 different colors on your food plate, and that's all the big lie to get you into the position
and
where
it's
you're
so simple. The old-fashioned, like in Germany or anywhere where you put all the animal and human waste in big honey pots, let it ferment for a year till all the bacteria had eaten through it and died. Now it's pure minerals and vitamins and you name it. You put that on the crop, it's a totally different food than the chemical fertilizer that has all sorts of heavy metals in it on top of it that they're dumping and that we're then eating. And then they spray the crops with sodium fluoride, which then bioaccumulates even worse. It's a toxic brew.
Well, you're exactly right. And of course, we have to be smarter than that. And again, that's why I applaud you for getting this information in front of the American people. Again, it's to the government's advantage to keep the doctors happy because they put more money into the PAC committees than any other group. And it's this little love thing between the doctors and the government. And so we have to save ourselves. And this is what my wife and I have done with the books, Let's Play Doctor, Let's Play Herbal Doctor, and the Passport to Aromatherapy, to teach people how to deal with over 900 different diseases using just vitamins and minerals and trace minerals and rare earths and amino acids and fatty acids and herbs, just like we use in animals. And it works in people, Alex, just like it does in animals. There's no reason why we should be treating our dogs better than we treat our kids. It's just amazing to me that people put up with that. When you look at it, we kill so many people in hospitals. Nobody would go on an airliner if airlines were to kill that many people.
Oh, new numbers just came out on that. I want to come back and show viewers the graphic, read it to listeners. The FDA admits they're killing at least 100,000 a year.
We're on the march. The empire.
Dr. Joel Wallach is on a quest. There is no doubt. He knows the truth of what he's discovered. Something hiding in plain view in veterinary science. He's a veterinarian amongst other doctorates. And he's done major studies for the federal government, conducted tens of thousands of autopsies with huge programs underneath him to confirm these findings. All these degenerative diseases, neurological, you name it, are increasing. And they spin it and say, well, it's genetic. Well, yeah, you can be predisposed to something, but when you're missing the minerals and the vitamins and the trace elements all working together in concert, you're starving to death. And I see old people everywhere who have the big sores, their skin rotting, they touch a door, their skin rips open. And I talk to people like Ted Anderson's dad. Ted's told this story. 6 months on Beyond Tangy Tangerine and essential fatty acids, the proprietary